What's up, guys?
What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another the weekly business show with Willie and Eugene. So, guys, thanks for joining. Hope you learned something today. And remember now, the purpose of the show is to learn from other guys' mistakes. And we often speak about modeling. So, get your pen and paper, make some notes. Let's learn. And guys, please like and share our videos and share it with as many people as possible. It's the only way that we're going to get the word out there. And yeah, so Eugene, without further ado, who's our giant for today?
So our giant joining us live from Facebook International is Thinus. So Thinus is one of my coaching clients. I've been coaching Thinus for quite some time. And just an amazing person and an amazing entrepreneur. It's a lot of people speak about the things that they want to do, and they speak about the person that they want to be, etc. And I think Thinus is one of those rare, authentic people that kind of what you see is what you get. So excited to have him on the show today. And then also just adding on to Willie, just like and share this, guys. We're doing this out of it's our passion to help as many entrepreneurs as possible. We don't get anything out of this. The whole purpose of this is to help people. So we're coming out live to you to help you and to learn from our giants. So please share it with other people so someone else can learn something as well. So without further ado, Willie, I think bring Thinus on the show and let's get cracking on today's business show, the weekly business show. Remember, next week, 4 o'clock. Coming out live again on Facebook and YouTube. So if you like this, tune in next week.
All the way from London.
Yeah, and we'll talk a bit at the end about who's our giant coming on to the next show. And then remember, at the end, we've got our hot seat question. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, so without further ado, let's get Thinus into the show. Welcome, Thinus.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you, Eugene. I appreciate coming on your show, and let's get going.
Yeah. So Thinus, just firstly, just for everyone that doesn't know you, just tell us a bit about your business journey, or just in general about your business.
Well, I started working in the food industry. Around about when I left school, I never went studying or anything like that. So I started working in the food industry and working for bosses for a long time. And I got an opportunity to buy the business that I was working for at that time, which is the business I'm owning at the moment. And it basically happened. I can't say it was a big plan or I planned it or anything like that. It just basically happened.
Like it normally does. You wake up one morning and then you're a business owner or entrepreneur. What happened?
What happened? Yeah. So guys, I've actually also had the privilege to work with Thinus for quite a long time, and they are actually in the manufacturing business. It's the first time actually that we had someone on the show who's actually developing their own products, delivering their own products, and going through the whole process. Thinus, tell us a bit more about your current business. What are you guys doing? Who are you serving?
We are manufacturing spices and vinegar, and stuff for the food industry. We manufacture for the retail industry. So we package small packets. I haven't got a sample here, but we package small packages like 200 grams, 400 gram, 500 gram, 1 kilo, up to a 5 kilo spice, and we sell it to the retail and wholesale industry.
And it's an interesting game. It's true what you're saying, Willie. We actually never had someone on that's in manufacturing. This is the first time. Everyone's either in services or online products or something like that, where that's their main source of income. So, and by no means are you guys a small business. I mean, you're a fairly big business. You do huge volumes. You sell tons of spices. It's not that you're selling 3 packets of spices to the food industry or to a mom and pop shop sort of thing. So
Yeah. No, look, when we before we started, if you tell me you can load a truckload of spice, I would think you are mad. How can that happen? There's no way you can sell a truckload of spices, but we do. We sell truckloads of spice, yeah.
So I just wanna tell a little story at this point, Eugene. So I must say, your aromat spice is probably the best that's on the market. But apart from that, I don't get my aromat in little boxes. I get them in kilogram sachets. So yeah, it's quite cool. Very often when I get there, I say, Ish, my wife said I need to get more aromat. So I go home with kilogram spices. So that's really how many spices you guys are actually manufacturing and selling. Yeah, it's quite an interesting team. And you know, one of the things, Thinus, especially in the manufacturing game, it's something which you can't do on your own. How important is your actual team in the factory and in the shop and wherever you guys use them? How important are they for your success?
You can't underestimate how important the team is. Really, starting from bookkeeping, from the bookkeeping side, manufacturing is difficult in the sense that you need to know, without making it complicated, but you need to know what you buy, what you do with what you buy, and how it goes. If you don't know, you're going to have stock losses. You're not going to have a business. So I think that, well, starting with bookkeeping, that team is very important, and then people working. You really need the right people. We've had wrong people in the past, and if you don't work them out or get rid of them, I don't know how to put it in a nice way, but you get stuck at a place where your operations is not working correctly. You frustrate yourselves, and to be honest, even those people get frustrated in the system, and it's not good. It's not good. You need the right people. The right people is the answer. To me, a team is the most important thing.
Eugene, how often do we have this discussion about teams? And it's really every single time when we speak about moving to the next level, is the first thing is the team, and the next thing is the right people. And I think that's probably one of the most difficult things to do is to actually get the right people in place, especially with our labor laws, which is really tough in South Africa.
And also we've got a multicultural country. So if you only work with your own culture, I think you can see through people and stuff like that. Working with other cultures, you also need to know stuff about other people, and not everybody does everything the same, and you need to know that. You need to handle everybody on an individual basis, and
and there's strength in diversity. Everyone brings a different skill set, and everything, male, female, young, old, millennials, everyone brings a different skill set, and we can't sit here being frustrated with how someone else works and looking at the negative side, despite looking at the positive side as well.
The right person, you'll never have to police the right person. The right person will work, and he will do his work, and you don't have to manage the right person. You've got to guide them, not manage them.
And the shocking fact is I'm busy listening to a book on Jeff Bezos, Amazon. I'm sure everyone knows Amazon. If you don't know Amazon, you're living under a rock. And the part where he's at now is one of his things as well, is the team is absolutely critical for the business. So he has something controversial that they implement in their team meetings, is once a year, each team or each business division needs to review their whole team, and they have to fire the 10% worst performing employees.
Sure.
And, It's, I don't know what the effect on that is from a team morale perspective, but Amazon employs 150,000 people or something like that, now probably even more. And that's also a fallacy that we have going online, then you don't need a team. You need a team for everything. And they employ that amount of teams, and they're the biggest company in the world. They're one of the first companies that's done $1 trillion valuation or sales for the year sort of thing. So they're doing something right, and there's some validity in it. I don't know how correct it is from an employment perspective. But that's how critical the right team is. And they talk about right or different streams of income, but it's actually different teams of income. If you don't have a team, then all you're doing is creating little jobs for yourself where you get paid for your time. And that's not scalable because time is limited. Talking about the time, Thinus, we talk a bit or quite a lot about that in the coaching as well, how important the time is. And is there a process that you use? How do you use your time the most effectively?
Well, for me, planning is critical. If you don't do planning, you're going to waste time somewhere. Somewhere there will be time lost because your planning is not correct. And the other thing is, if something goes wrong with your planning, to manage that to the best of your ability, to not waste time on a problem. Because a lot of people get stuck in problems and waste time on problems, and you need to get past the problem and carry on and use your time use your time correctly.
Make decisions quickly.
Yes, I think one of the things that I've learned was they said a lot of the successful people actually make quick decisions, and then they stick with their decisions, and that's what makes them just move so much faster. So it ties in quite nicely with what you've just mentioned. Eugene, we speak to quite a lot of entrepreneurs, and one of the things that we very often speak about is the habits of successful and unsuccessful entrepreneurs. Thinus, what would you say are some of the habits that you've learned throughout the years and that you're applying on a daily basis that's kind of giving you an edge for that specific day, for example?
One of my habits is I never get up after 5. Now, it goes into weekends. So weekends I'm also up before 5. Doesn't matter, but I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning. When I get to work around about 7, I'm awake. I'm energetic. I can carry on. I can get people's energy levels around me also up because I'm already energetic. One other habit that I do have, I don't know if it's a habit or something, but I do not drink. I do not use alcohol during the week. That's just something I do. And I'm saying this because a lot of people think it's nothing, but I promise you, since I started doing this around about 4 or 5 years ago, and I can tell you now, my energy levels is much better during the week. I still use alcohol on a weekend, holidays and stuff like that. I never overuse, and I do not drink during the week. For me, that's something that works for me.
It's actually funny that you're saying that. Go, Willie. I'll carry on now.
No, you go for it.
I actually listen to, so I don't know who listens to or watches Jordan Peterson. He's got videos on YouTube and stuff. And actually this morning, he had a video. So every morning, part of my ritual every morning is watching some sort of video from someone that I can learn something. So Jordan Peterson or Tony Robbins or Joggy Buzzardef or whoever. And Jordan Peterson's video this morning was the 5 things that you should do to change your state. And the first thing that he mentioned is give up alcohol. Because alcohol, firstly, if you overuse it, the next day you go into a depression state. And if you're in a depression state, what's your motivation like? What's the choices that you make when you're in a negative state? I mean, we make bad choices when we're in a negative state.
Very, very bad.
and you're making choices from a negative perspective, not from a positive, and that ripples on. So what's your choice that you're making today? What's the effect of that in a year's time from now? And the same with Jaggi Vasudev about the time management. I laughed when I saw that video where he's sitting there and he's like, what's this thing with people in time management? It's as if we've got this fallacy that we can manage time. We can't manage time. Show me someone that can walk up to a clock and turn it backwards and say, no, go back and put my time back. We can't manage time. We can only manage activity.
Exactly.
And coming back to that state of how important that state is now, alcohol takes us out of that state, especially the choices that we make, the repercussions of it, the motivational state. Because entrepreneur roller coaster. It's this up and down thing. You're never perfect. You're never in a state where you always maintain that state. So when you go down into your down state, what's some of the stuff that you do to get you out of that state and get you into a motivated, driven state again?
The first thing I realized when it happened a while ago, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, is one can never worry yourself out of a problem. You have to get the worries past yourself and carry on with what you need to do. And take control. Take control. If you don't take control of a situation, the thing is, here's the thing. When a problem arises, whatever the problem is, and you take control of the problem, you feel better immediately about the problem. So the problem is not gone, but you take control, and the problem is better. You start feeling better about the problem.
That's key. Is action. We talk about awareness. Awareness without action is never going to change anything. Tomorrow's just going to be the same as it is today. Just a funny thing about the alcohol, and we all in our second part of our life probably. But I saw a picture where they're showing two people that's like drinking at 21, and you see this young couple jogging there on the beach and laughing, and then they're like drinking at 35. And this guy's lying in ICU with a drip and oxygen mask. I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. In your 30s, you start getting a hangover for a couple of days, not just for a couple of hours.
Exactly.
A couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks.
No, it's quite interesting that all of stuff popping up. So tell me, Thinus, you've been in business for quite a long time. If someone or one of our viewers were to start a business now, what are some of give us maybe 2 or 3 tips that you will give them, which will help them on their journey? So yeah.
Well, if you have a good business idea, discuss it with people you can trust. I can really vouch for Eugene. If this is a platform to do that, talk to somebody. Eugene is a good person to talk to, but talk to somebody like Eugene, which will stay neutral, will ask the right questions. I know why you're laughing, Willie, but the thing is, you need to answer stuff, and sometimes you're not the right person to ask the questions. You ask questions of yourself that is easy to answer, and you need hard answers. You need hard questions. To start a business is definitely not easy. To start a business in South Africa is definitely not easy. If you start the right thing, it will be rewarding. You have. I think it's a good thing. If you want to start a business, research, and the last thing I can say on it, the one guy I knew, Willie, don't do this. The last thing I want to say is I knew a guy, his name was Paul. He said, when you want to start a business or a project, you do the sums. If you see you making a profit, then you do the sums again. If you see you making a profit, you know you're doing something wrong, you do the sums. And you carry on until you see you make a loss. Then you know you did it. You are doing the right. Yeah.
How true is that? And I just want to add something to what Thinus said about share your idea to people you trust. But I think we often speak about it, is how a lot of the best ideas is actually 6 feet under the ground. So guys just holding their business ideas so close to their chest that they actually never share this. And the one thing that I've learned throughout my journey of having businesses and speaking to a lot of entrepreneurs is the one thing that you need to remember is all three of us on this show today can start off with the exactly same business. The guarantee that I can give you is that in a 3 or a 5 year period, those three businesses will be in completely different places. And I almost want to go as far as we can start the planning session and share everything that we want to share. But because your vision, in my opinion, is the difference between different businesses and why people succeed. Eugene, we talk about it, is the mindset. So your vision for your business is the thing that's going to make it a success, not the actual business idea. It's interesting that you mention it, and it is really something I think you can actually save yourself quite a lot of hardship and financial losses by just doing that and not just jumping head on to something. But I mean, we are entrepreneurs, so it's something which we do all the time. Thanks so much for that tip.
Get too attached to the idea. Most of the time, the idea you start off with, 5 years later, has got nothing to do with the idea that you started off with. So we have this massive attachment to the idea. And like you mentioned about the income, is we think, I can buy this pen for 2 Rand and I can sell it for 10 Rand. I make 8 Rand. So all I have to do is sell 1 million pens and then I've got a big business.
Exactly.
Okay. And who's going to be your salespeople? Who's going to be your team? What's your factory? What's your warehouse? And we don't take these costs into account. And then when you start, then these things become a realization, and then you have to pivot and you have to change. Just before I get into my last question from my side, is just advice, Thinus, is it doesn't really matter about the platform. Any place is the right place to talk about your genius. That's okay. Talking about the pivoting, how important is it to innovate and to change on a continuous basis? So you in the manufacturing space, does that still apply in the manufacturing space as well?
Definitely. And when you see your opposition innovating and moving forward, don't follow them. Do your own innovations. Do things that is good for your company. What is good for the same things that is good for my company is not the same things that is good for another company. You understand? And don't be a follower. Don't be a follower.
No.
That's innovation.
Be a leader.
Fogging ahead. Someone else makes a change, you make a better change. That's where competition breeds innovation. So it's definitely don't follow someone else. I love that. That is super cool.
Yeah.
Willie, do you want to add the last question before we jump into the market?
So one last question before we jump into the hot seat. What would you say is one of your most difficult business challenges that you've experienced before or currently?
Definitely cash flow. Cash flow is a constant challenge in our business. We have to carry a lot of stock to be in the manufacturing space and so on. But look, it's part of business. You have to manage it. Like I said, you can't worry the problem away. It's never going to happen. So
no, that's quite a nice saying. You can't worry the problem away. There we go.
Other side, where's the camera there? There's some of Rob Spice seasoning, pure spice. If you guys see it in the shop, support our fellow entrepreneurs and our fellow South Africans, and get some of the spices in. So Willie, let's get into the hot seat. This is my favorite part of it. So Thinus, the quick thing about what the hot seat is we're going to ask a couple of questions, 5 questions. And it's not to think about the question. You don't have to explain the question. Just the first thing that pops into your mind, what comes up. Willie, do you want to go for the first question, or am I doing it?
I just want to tell the viewers this is one of Eugene's favorite things to do in a coaching session as well. So when you book Eugene for a coaching session, he loves this game.
Oh, cool. So Eugene, pop it, go for it.
So the first question, just to get us into it, an easy question, is one place that you still want to visit in the world.
India.
India.
Lekker. Question from my side. What's the best business advice that you've ever received?
Don't think about it. Just do it.
Lekker.
Nike. So if someone had to come in and they had to write a book about your life, what would the title be?
He's trying his best.
Lekker. What's the worst business advice you've ever given someone?
Just do it. Don't think about it.
Lekker, the last one, Eugene. Go for it.
Oh, you can go take it.
If there's one question that you would like to ask us, what would it be?
That's a good one.
How can I make money, dude? How can I make money? How can I make money?
Become an entrepreneur, which you already are.
Show me the money.
Yeah, just become an entrepreneur.
And just become an entrepreneur. Have more time, have more money, and have freedom.
Money, freedom. Yeah, you'll have everything. Biggest fallacy in the world. Become an entrepreneur, you'll have time, money, and freedom.
Oh, lekker. Oh,
Thinus, thanks for joining us. Thanks for an entertaining show, and thanks for sharing your wisdom. And
thanks for inviting me. This was great. I was a bit nervous when we started, but yes, I like it. Doing stuff out of your comfort zone is actually a good thing to do. Also, we need to do things out of our comfort zone. This is not my comfort zone. I'll let you know. But yeah, it was nice doing it.
Yeah, cool. Once again, thanks so much, Thinus, and just for the viewers, they learn from other guys that actually done it before. Save yourself time and hardship and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks so much, Thinus. And
here's the spices. If you're in a shop, get some of the spices. Let's support SA businesses. Let's support each other. And let's grow the community and the entrepreneurship community in South Africa. Thanks, Thinus. Thanks for jumping on the show. And thanks for sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Thinus. And
Yeah, and then to all our viewers, just thanks for joining the show. And remember to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, please like and share this. Please comment in the comment box. What did you think about the show? What was the best part about the show? Just give us some feedback. Like myself and Willie mentioned in the beginning, we're doing this out of the love for it. We want to help entrepreneurs over South Africa. So please help us make this better. Let us know how we can make it better. If you have someone that we want to or that we need to interview, please let us know as well, and we'll get them on the show. And then Willie, maybe just speaking about next week.
Yes, guys. So thanks for watching the show. Like and share. And then just a bit about next week's show. Earl, also an entrepreneur that I've worked with for quite a while. I actually met him at the Branson Entrepreneurship Center. Both of us went there to Richard Branson's entrepreneurship school. And yeah, he's actually, it's going to be a quite interesting show, Eugene. He's actually got a travel business, but he's gone international in the same time. And how these guys have just pivoted to go through this stuff. So guys, thanks for joining the show, and check you next week.
Cheers, guys.